Jagdish, what's happening in the markets? You think it's the extreme situation of panic? People who are still holding on, still betting for a big recovery to come in soon, are also losing hopes?
Well, clearly we are in bad company. This, emerging markets and Asia, both a lethal combination. Today, Asia is hemorrhaging. European futures are bad. The latest nail in the coffin was the IMF global outlook, pegging global growth and U.S. growth downwards, and of course on the back of poorer numbers from China. So that's the global story. But I would still say the doom and gloom here has been way overdone in the markets. I mean, you can see it's great to see that the government is at least so far showing some resolve about not buckling under on the fiscal deficit by not passing on the crude oil reduction to us consumers, much as we would crib about it. They are keeping the tax base up and therefore hopefully able to pay for the pay commission and the one rank, one pension outflow. Reliance results were pretty encouraging. So the real macro picture, inflation, etc., is all pretty decent and under control. So yes, of course, results are going to be poor, etc. But I think the doom is overdone. But then now we are in sort of technical markets and then of course margin calls and all the issues of the market. And don't forget, so far it's been retail inflows into mutual funds and therefore DII investment, which has been countering the FII sales. Now, with small folks starting to panic and redeem, then it's a double-edged sword.
Right. Can you just talk to us about the fact that, as the point that even you mentioned, numbers so far has been good. So and Asian Paints and HCL Tech, which were decent numbers, Reliance, which were decent numbers, all of the bounces are being used to sell off on a big volume day. What do you make of that? People just want to exit the calls rather than just looking at fundamentals for right now?
Well, more than people, it's the FII sales which are continuing. And then on the back of that, as I just explained, if after all it takes, so far the trend for the last few months has been the DIIs, the domestic institutions, counter the FII sales. But now if the domestic starts to slow down due to redemptions or due to reduction of inflows from retail folks, naturally then, in illiquid markets and volatility is high, etc. So best to wait for this whole, crash to subside, as it were, rather than, step out, because it's very dangerous now. Now it'll all be technical factors, stockbrokers calling their clients to redeem, you're forced to sell, and the scariest would be where there's large amounts of profits on mid caps and small caps, which have run up a lot. So those could be on the firing line.
Right. In such markets, is there any hiding place?
Well, I would be nibbling at the bluest of the blue chips. The large caps, some of it have been pummeled beyond, probably it's even say some of the large PSU banks, they're not going to shut down. I mean, yes, one knows provisions, one knows, the large capital goods company. I'm not taking names, but clearly, or some of the good consumer names, or some of the good private banks, I think, they've been the doom is overdone.
Right. And, just about the point, a couple of companies which even you mentioned earlier have come out with their results. So something like a Reliance, HCL Tech, maybe Asian Paints, IndusInd Bank. You think that those companies are safer, as, at least the volatility of earnings would be out of the way? And we know, a couple of them are also strong. So they would see less volatile moves, less redemption pressure versus some of the other ones which are yet to declare numbers?
Yeah, but then some of those are richly priced. Don't forget, there's, so one has to tread very cautiously. You either go for quality which is available at low valuation, because what is where then some of the names you mentioned, they tend to be very expensively priced. They're paying a stiff price for quality, So you have to weigh that in also.
Right. What do you make of the banking space? How important will Axis Bank numbers be for the entire banking sector?
There'll obviously be, Mr. Rajan and company are very clear that they are really cracking the whip on provisions and all. Especially in the PSU bank space, there's going to be a lot of pain. But even where some of the private banks have been a bit adventurous, a lot of this, the old ways of either this what they call the CDR process, converting to equity or evergreening, or some of the old practices, the RBI is really cracking the whip. So yes, provisions are going to be very high in the December and the March quarter. But I suppose that's all in the prices.